Hey guys, and welcome to the next episode of my co-working show. My name is Anna, and this is the top one show for all the remote workers, co-workers, digital nomads, or the ones that want to become any of these. Yeah, as we already did in the last episodes, I started presenting every episode a new destination where you can have the perfect co-working experience. Last time we already talked about the Algarve, we talked about Gran Canaria, I was like on Tenerife. Gran Canaria, the Canary Island, because I was there, just got back last week. As you can see, I'm back at home, back in Germany, and still don't know where I'm gonna head next. But what I want to do today is talk with you guys about Madeira. I think Madeira has been quite famous among the digital nomads because it's the first island that has opened an official digital nomad village, which is located in Puerto del Sol in the south of the island. And yeah, of course, I have already been there because from JoinMyTrip, we do have a trip leader that is a Madeira nerd, expert, lover, and he's actually currently living there. And also he rented a really nice villa and I was able to stay there and do some co-working. But of course, I also had time to explore the island and to get a bit deeper dive into the digital nomads lifestyle on Madeira. So as always, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you some highlights of Madeira, places to stay, average rent, and then some tips and tricks that I wish I would have known before going to Madeira. So first of all, I think what actually in the beginning inspired me to go to Madeira was, of course, all the pictures I saw from Fabian, but also I remember one day I watched a YouTube video from, I think his name is Alice von Jason, I don't know if I spelled this right, and he has a really, really nice video with his drone from Madeira. And I remember I bumped into it by accident, and then that was when I was like, okay, wow. I will link you guys the video in the caption, so maybe you want to check it out as well. And after this one, I will promise you really want to go to Madeira. So let's get started. So first of all, main question is probably for you guys, where can I live at the digital nomad, or where is it recommended? So I personally think there are 3 spots. First of all, of course, Puerto del Sol. The good thing about this place is that there are, of course, a lot of digital nomads, but also it's, as the name already also says, there's always sun, usually, because the thing is on Madeira, the higher you get, it can happen that within 1 second, there's a lot of fog and then you can't see anymore. So in Puerto del Sol, you don't have this fog, so this is why usually it's sunny and warm, and you have a beach. But also Caleta is really famous. It's a bit more expensive, but a bit bigger than Puerto del Sol. And of course, also Funchal is really beautiful. That's the capital of the island. Cute city, really cute city. A lot of green, located at the ocean, a lot of good bars, restaurants. A lot of stores where you can walk around, and you can also find a lot of nice apartments there. But of course, it's still in the city, so it depends a bit if you want more city life or more the mixture. But of course, you can also, as we did, live in the middle of the mountains, which is also really nice because places there are a bit cheaper. But of course, make sure that you will need a car to be able to get around. And if you want to be a bit more flexible without the need to have a car, I can only recommend you guys Caleta, Puerto del Sol, or Funchal. But anyways, maybe when we're already talking about cars, one thing I would have never expected, but the streets in Madeira are absolutely crazy. So when you are like a person that gets, that you feel sick or something when driving a car with a lot of not bumpy roads, but like curvy roads, we might want to make sure to take some pills for that with you. It was really sometimes I was like, okay, wow, this is crazy, because the streets are super narrow and then it really goes up really high. So when you go, make sure that either you are a good driver or you take somebody with you that is a good driver, because especially the tiny roads in the middle of the island are not so easy to drive, let's put it that way. Of course, there's also a highway, and of course, there are also normal roads, but especially if you want to get to the secret spots, it's necessary to take some of those tiny roads, and then it can get a bit adventurous, let's say, which is fun. But just need to make sure that you have somebody on board that is a good driver. I'm not a good driver. This is why I always make sure I take people with me that are a good driver. Then maybe talking about my other things that I wish I would have known before going to Madeira definitely, take good hiking boots. I took only my shoes that I usually use for running, but the trails that we went, and I think this is also what makes Madeira so special, all the hiking trails are sometimes, of course, like the real ones are not so easy to hike. So definitely make sure if you want to go hiking, which I can only recommend you to do, take proper hiking shoes, and also be prepared for like a really quick weather change. It doesn't matter how nice the weather is when you would leave the door. Make sure to take an extra jacket for wind and rain, because you might need it in the end. And then always make sure to, of course, have enough water with you and all that kind of stuff. This is stuff that you already know, but these things, just you want to make sure before going there. And besides this, I think Madeira is an absolute paradise. It basically has it all. The island is not too big, but also not too small, and you really have a mixture of anything. So you can go city strolling in Funchal, then you can do amazing hikes, but you can also relax at the beach. For example, in Seychelles, there's a really nice beach and also some nice bakeries at the beachfront. But you can also, just do a nice romantic sunset session at the in the north of the, in the west of the island. There's a really nice corner where you can have a really nice view. It's called, there's a nice viewpoint, it's called Puente de Girasol. We will tag it in the description. I think I spelled it wrong. No, it's Giraldufu or something. It's a bit hidden, but it's really nice for sunset. And there's also like a waterfall. So I think that was one of my highlights. Talking about other highlights, it's nothing that is a secret, but to be honest, really, it was my absolute favorite hike and my absolute favorite place on the island. It's called Puente de San Lorenzo. It's basically like a long trail that you walk and you go inside the water, and it's a really long, tiny island. It's a peninsula. And the hike to the end of the peninsula takes you it's 3 to 4 kilometers, and then you just walk back. So you can do that easily on a Sunday afternoon, or if you finish work early, you can also do it in the evening for the sunset. But also, of course, it's nice for the sunrise. Unfortunately, we didn't make it. But then I was there, it was just too early, the sunrise, so we didn't go. But it's just an absolute incredible hike. Like, you think the scenery changes every 100 meters. It's absolutely incredible. I thought I'm in New Zealand. I don't know. I was so, wow, oh my gosh. And the nice thing is, when you reach the end of the little peninsula, there's a small cafe located in the middle of the nowhere. They actually offer really good burgers and also cake. And it's the perfect place to do a break. So that's just definitely something that you do. And then don't stop at the cafe. There's another trail that takes you 500 meters even to the farthest edge of this peninsula. And there you even have a more nicer view. So take a rest there, take a drink, and then finish the hike with the 500 meters up the hill. It's definitely worth it. And I think this is definitely my highlight. Besides this, I also really enjoyed watching the sunrise at Picodeiro. The good thing is it's the highest point of Madeira, and you can actually reach the top with a car. So it's not like you have to do a crazy hike or something in the morning. You can easily just get up, go take the car up there, and then you can enjoy an absolutely incredible sunrise. Wow, I still think back on these moments a lot. It was so magical. Basically you are above the clouds, you can view the whole island, you just see the sun rising from the ocean. It was absolutely incredible. And another highlight I think was definitely in general drinking poncha, which is a super famous and traditional drink on Madeira. It's maybe a bit like you drink tequila in Mexico and you drink ouzo in Greece. You just drink poncha on Madeira. And at first I was like, okay, what's this? But it's actually, it's a really hard alcohol. I think it's ron that they mix with fresh juice. Can be maracuja juice, can be lime juice. And they kind of have this little thing. It looks a bit like the thing that you have in honey. And then they make this to shake it, mix it with sugar, and then you drink it. So it's a mixture of hard alcohol and sugar. So you can imagine if you have one without having something to eat before, you're already in a really good mood. And this poncha thing is just a thing to do. You see all the locals sitting in the bars drinking poncha, and it's just so nice to just join those locals and sit next to them, and it's just really, really cool. And there's one, I think the oldest poncha bar, it's called Taberna de Poncha. It's it's in the north of Puerto del Sol, close to Serra de Agua. And this one is really nice because when you enter, you have a whole room full of business cards from people. So basically when you go there, you can just put on your business card on the wall, and then you basically mark yourself as I have been here. And maybe if you go, you can also spot my business card. So have a look. It's a bit on the bottom. So this is a little hint. If you see it, let me know and send me a picture or comment under this. I'm really curious. And maybe another hint, it's purple. So I think this is definitely my highlights of the drinking the poncha. And another thing, wow, how can I forget? Guys, when you go to Madeira, you need to eat bolo de caco. I think this was my absolute, I think I have never eaten so much bread in my life within 3 weeks than I did on Madeira, because this bolo de caco is just absolutely, it's heaven. It's also super traditional it's like a super traditional thing you eat on Madeira, and you can usually get it in little booths that you will find on like small squares or in front of a supermarket. They make it fresh. The dough is made out of potatoes or sweet potatoes, and then what they do is, it's like a round thingy. They bake it on a grill, and then what they do is when you can buy it with garlic butter. So they open it, it's like basically still like warm, and they put the butter on it, then they close it again, and then they break it in like 4 pieces. And oh my god, guys, like especially when you have like just finished your 15-kilometer hike, this is the best thing to have. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hungry now. Definitely need to try it. You can basically get it as a starter in any place that you're gonna go for food. And I also took some home and showed it to my dad, because he's a baker, and was like, Dad, you have to bake that for me because I need it. So I actually have to check in with him. So let's see if he can maybe prepare it for me next time. So this is definitely things regarding food. Those 2 things definitely go. But of course, on Madeira, you can also try a lot of other specialties. But those 2 things I can definitely recommend. And so these were like basically my highlights, but I think the whole island is a highlight. Really, just go with a car. Also, there's a really cool thing. It's called Fanal. It's in the north of the island, where it's a bit more cloudy and windy. And it's a forest. It's also called the fairy tale forest. And when you go there, you know what I'm talking about. It's usually full of fog, and you have like those big, really old trees covered with, I don't know the English word for it, this green stuff that sticks, and like a lot of leaves like growing on the tree. And it really has, then there's some cows walking around, and it really has this fairy tale feeling, a bit spooky. I think that would be the perfect place for a horror movie, to be honest. But it's just really nice and a really mystical place. So go there with a bit of time, but really when you go there, make sure to take at least 1 extra jacket and a hat or something, because it's gonna be cold. And so as you can see, the island is super, super diverse. I would definitely recommend you guys, if you go for a trip, a minimum 10 days. If you go co-working, at least 3 weeks, just to make sure you have time to see all the waterfalls, to do all the hikes, to see the sunrise, the sunset, to explore Funchal and all that kind of stuff. I had an amazing time there with an amazing group on JoinMyTrip. That actually was my first trip joining as a trip mate. Usually I organize the trips by myself and pick my co-working buddies. But for this one, I joined Fabian's trip, Fabian's famous co-working villa on Madeira, that I can also only recommend. Amazing place, villa with I think 7 or 8 rooms. Each room has an own desk, really good Wi-Fi. You have your own dog, Lotus. You have a place for a barbecue. You have a kicker. You have actually a whole room just with games. So it's absolutely a really, really cool place. We'll also link this in the description, so if you want to check it out. And besides this, Madeira has really low cases at the moment, so it's really good to travel. You just need a negative PCR test. Of course, now it's end of April, so I don't know when you watch this video, maybe make sure to just check out the website of Madeira before. And last but not least, we actually do have a partner page only with partners on Madeira. So if you're going to Madeira, check out our partner page in your profile of JoinMyTrip. We do have a lot of discounts for you when you want to go surfing or whale watching or canyoning or paragliding. If you show your JoinMyTrip booking, then you will get some discount. And it's actually worth it, so make sure to check it out. So I would say, guys, definitely go from my side for Madeira. I will definitely go back because there's one famous hike I haven't done so far, which is supposed to be the hardest one. It's called the King's Tour, Königstour in German, and it's really hard, really steep, but the views are amazing. So if you're a good hiker, check out on that one, but make sure you go prepared with a lot of snacks and a lot of energy, and I think you will have a good time. So thanks guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, just put it in the comments below. If you like it, feel free to comment. Don't forget to thumb up, to subscribe to Join My Trip, the channel, share it with your friends. And yeah, I'm happy to see you for the next episode. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to talk about, but I have the feeling it's going to be about Greece. So have a good afternoon. All the best from Germany. Bye bye.